first of our Card and a Cuppa sessions for July 2025. This is somewhat delayed because sadly I had to attend a funeral on Wednesday afternoon, so I decided it was I would not be able to do the live here on Facebook. I did do the morning session, so everyone had lots of fun there. And I'm sorry, I'm just checking to make sure that this is going live, and it seems to be, which is good. It says click to expand, and that's what I'm doing. Right, okay, so great, I am live. So this is the card sample that I made for Wednesday. It's quite busy, I know. Sometimes I like to make a busy card and sometimes I like to keep it clean and simple. But actually, when I say it's busy, this actually is all one piece. And I'll show you the kit that everybody got. There was quite a bit in it. So, of course, an envelope. There was a white card base, a piece of Berry Burst, which is a Stampin' Up colour, which I had embossed using, I have to remember what I actually embossed it with. I had it all to one side here. I embossed it with the Painted Texture 3D embossing folder. I have no idea if that's still available, but I thought I quite like this as a background. So any other embossing folder that you have actually would do. I then had a piece of white cardstock which measured roughly 10.5 by 14.9, so basically the same size as a card base, and I used some dies to cut basically 2 frames and a centre. So I used these dies which I got as part of a class from Pinkfresh, and they're called dotted nested deckled rectangles, which is a bit of a mouthful. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, there's 7 in the pack. So I used, let's figure this one out. I didn't use the largest, I used the next 2 down. So that one and that one and that one. And then this is the blank that came out of that piece. So, is that right? Yes, 1. Yep, that's it. Going mad. So those came out of one piece. So I've had those, and then I had some rather gorgeous. It's called Fruitalicious, which I thought was a great name, especially for the summer. So I had some washi tape. So this comes. Again, this is from Pinkfresh. This comes in a really long reel. There's about, I think there was something like, crumbs now, 11 yards. So that's 33 feet. I'm not quite sure, I can't remember what that is in new money. And this one is 4 inches wide. And you can see the images start, so you have all these images and then they start again. So what I did was I was going to say simply, had a bit of a fight at times. So I put this onto white cardstock. You put it on vellum, that would be fine. It just means that these would then be clear, or clearer I should say. But I put it onto white cardstock, and then I used the coordinating die. So the die is actually, it's one really long die which cuts out all of these in one go. So this is what it cuts out, all of these. And that coordinates with the stamp set as well, which I do have, but we didn't use. Well, actually, I lie. One person did use it, but they just wanted to stamp some fruit to go on a corner. So those were what I used to cut all these. So as I said, washi tape, long piece of white, and then all of these die cut out in one go. So that was that, and then I also had some gems, which I think I'm trying to go through all my stash of gems that I had when I was a Stampin' Up demonstrator. Far too many, but these are called Glossy Dots Assortment, and I think I saw them on the clearance rack. So they are retiring or have retired. So that's what they're called. So I used the red ones. I don't think it says what colour these come in, but they come in 3 different sizes, and I gave everybody one of each size. So that was what the kit consisted of, which, gotta admit, it's quite a lot. It certainly took a fair number of hours to do all the prep, and putting mine together, I used just the single frame. Oh, and I should have said, and I don't know where it's gone, I think I probably put it to one side thinking, oh, I won't need that. After I had die cut all these bits of fruit and everything, there was a piece of white cardstock left over, just a small piece. So everybody got theirs as well, because that was what they could stamp a sentiment on if they wanted to. Should I leave it in there? No, I've obviously tidied it up and put it somewhere, but hey, never mind. Oh, there it is. That was the one. So they had that as well. So I just used the larger frame. I stamped my sentiment and put that down the bottom. So the sentiment came from a stamp set called Simply Said. Again, this was a Stampin' Up one. So I'm trying to keep all my general sentiment stamp sets, because these always come in handy. So this is one of the ones that I'm probably not going to be parted with. So I got that one. So that's got all sorts of things in it. So I stamped the Happy Birthday, and that's in Berry Burst, which is the same colour as the cardstock. Put this together. So this was some foam under here, so there's strips of foam in there, and then I added just that single piece, and then the 3 gemstones. And then I also put a piece of the die cut washi tape on the envelope, and then I also put another one inside the card. So there are a limited number of suppliers in the UK who stock Pinkfresh. So if you simply put Pinkfresh Studio in your browser, and then it should come up with some UK options who stock them. But anyway, so I am going to make another card. So I'm going to start off, got my base card, which I need to make sure I've got it the right way round, otherwise it'll be a bit of a disaster in a minute when I come to add the frames, or frame. So I'm going to start off with just gluing the embossed piece. Now I'm not going to make the exact same card as the one as I took as a sample on Wednesday. I'm going to do something different, because I want you to see, just using these items you can make something that looks somewhat different. So I might use the same frame, which is sort of fairly large for the card front. I'm going to use the piece of white. So I'm going to put my sentiment on here. I just need to decide what sentiment I'm going to use. Let's have a look. I want something that will go across the middle, I think, because then I can then add bits of the washi, sort of top and bottom. Yeah, okay, right, so what shall we use? Got birthday wishes, happy birthday, thank you, thinking of you. I always need thank you cards, so let's do thank you. Let's find that. So that's that. I got myself a new background, so because I've been going through that grid, my old Stampin' Up grid paper like nobody's business. It's ridiculous. So I figured if I get something like this, then I can simply just wipe it down after I've finished making anything, if I do make a mess, and then I haven't got to keep throwing it away and putting it into, well, I don't throw it away because I'm actually, in fact, we could even go that way. That would be different. Maybe I'll do that. This might not work, but hey. What I'm going to do is sort of try and sort of put this equal parts. So I know to centre it on there. So I'm going to go that way, I think. Hopefully that is straight. If it's not, then I'm kind of a bit stuck, because although you can turn it over, the back side does not look as nice as the front side. It's not as clean. The piercing pieces here going around are obviously they're pushed through, so they look raised on the back. Let's see. Now I could change this completely, and I've got to put the frame the other way around, because there is a right way and a wrong way to put this on. It does fit one way and not the other. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this piece down like so, and then I'm going to put this piece raised up on some foam strips. And then we can have fun with the placement of all the fruit and things. So that's going to go on here. Try and get it centre. So it needs to be centred top, sort of left and right, and then top and bottom. But you'll find that the two sides and the top and bottom are not the same. So let's have a look. It's actually not too bad for a first attempt. So that's that. So I'm not going to use that large one after all. I used that last time, but I've still got this now that I can use for another card. So that's going to go on here. Let's see, does it look straight? It looks kind of skew-whiff. I think that's more because my die cutting is a bit skew-whiff. That side's a bit wider than that side, but hey-ho. Right. So these strips again were from my Stampin' Up days. I don't know if anyone else does them. I think there are a few other companies. I'm off to a craft show on Sunday over in Bracknell in the Sports Centre. Don't think it's a massive show, not like Farnborough or anything like that, but there are certainly things there that I would quite like to have a look at. Don't know if there'll be anything new, but can but hope. Right, so I'll just cut that long strip into 4 pieces, and the longer pieces I'm going to put on the top and bottom. So these are quite handy because you don't have to cut anything down. I mean, if you've got a sheet of foam pads, you can usually cut a strip off the sides, unless they're just all squares that cover the whole of the backing. And I quite often will cut strips. So that's that piece. So that's all 4 bits on. Now before I remove anything, I just need to make sure that this is the right way round. Not convinced that it is. I think that's better. That's the way it needs to go. It's always as well to check these before you take the backing off, because if you do put it on the wrong way, you'll just be annoyed with yourself. And now that I've turned this around, I'm going to have to double check again. Right, I just have to remember that there's a flat piece that's more like a flat edge on the bottom left, which is there. So that's good. I think the idea is just to... The other way you can do this is to add the frame first and then simply place, when you come to glue that on, just place it through the hole, because then you know it's exactly in line. But you will have to make sure that you double check which way you're putting your frame, because if you've stamped a sentiment, you do want to make sure it's the right way round and not upside down. I don't know, I've made a few of those in my time. Okay, so we have, I think those are strawberries. We've got strawberries, we've got grapes. Want to keep one for the inside. Those look, I'm trying to think, what do those look like? I'm trying to think what they're called. Isn't that awful? My mind's gone completely blank. They're not damsons. Figs, that's what they are. Nearly forgot. Let's see, so we've got a lemon that can go down the side there. With a, I don't want to put the figs, put lemons and grapes on. I need to make sure that I also don't cover up the sentiment. It could be a bit of a disaster if I did. So, right, I think I'm going to have to put some glue on here. And then I'm going to have to put some little foam pads. I'm going to find my mini ones to add. I just need to be aware of which way it's going. So I can put one on here. That's fine. I can put one on there. So what I don't want to do is put them on here, because then that will just double the height and that will be a bit of a pain. One on there. And I think sort of one down there. Let's see how this goes. And I've got that bit of glue then just to hold. That's going to go on there like that. Did I put a foam pad under that? No. Or did I? Yes, what a wally. Need to take that off. Done exactly what I said not to do. I think it's just one of those days at the moment. Let's take that off, get another fresh one and put it in the right place this time. I'm going to take the backing off before I try and stick it on, because then I haven't got to faff about trying to get it off. That's it. There we go. So that should be glued to there. That's got one on. That should have one on, which I didn't take the backing off. I should explain why it's not sticking. There we go. So that's that. Now we could put the figs on here. I did want to put the grapes on, but we have some more cherries here, so we could put those on as well. We could tuck them under or you could tuck them under here. I mean, this is one of the things you can now, once you've got your first one on, you can go to town with this, doing whatever you want to, adding things. It's probably best to actually just try it before you actually stick it. So just check your placements. Add that under there. And that went under there. Like that. So I've got some cherries and a lemon there. And then I could put the grapes up here. Yeah, I think I will. So then I've got two just in the corners. That's just quite nice. I'm going to cheat this time. I'm going to put the foam pad on there and put a bit of glue on here. And do that. There we go, so there's that. Now I've also got the inside of the card to do. So I still have a few of these that I can use. I've got a strawberry, I've got a blackcurrant, I think. I've got figs, and I've got some more strawberries. One thing that I was shown on Wednesday is that although I've put card on the back here, you can in fact carefully peel the washi tape off the card, and I'm going to attempt to do that. So once you've got it started, you see it's coming off. Just need to be a little bit careful. And I think once you've got it started, as long as you just sort of take your time over it, you can take the washi tape off the backing like so, and then you can place it where you want to. So by doing that, you're not adding any extra depth to the card. So that now is just stuck completely to the inside of the card. Because if I had put it in there, because this one here, my original, you can see that it's actually still on the cardstock, whereas now this is just firm, just directly onto there. Okay, so I don't need that bit, and then I can use one of these to do the envelope. I think I'm going to use this one. Again, I'm going to peel off the image from the white cardstock. So I end up ruining my nails, but hey, it's just finding a place where you can get your nail in between. That's it. As I said, just carefully peel it. Like so. Oh, there we go. So once you've got those sort of bits off, then carefully go. Where am I going to go? I think I'm going to go this way. These are bigger bits, so I just need to be careful not to rip it. I have done slightly, but I think I'll get away with it. So thank you, Tricia, for showing me this. If I'd put it on vellum, that it would necessarily have added too much extra height or depth. Let's see, just take this last bit off here. Whoops, that's why I have ripped it. There we go. Let's see if I can put it back together. So I'll put that there, I think. And then piece this back together very carefully. That bit goes there. And then that piece has got itself twisted around. There you go. Good as new. I'll just use my bone folder to make sure that that is down properly. So there we go. So that's the envelope decorated, the front of the card and the inside. But what I do have still is those gems. So I think I probably need to use those. So let's see. The question is where. It will come off, yes. So then put it up here. Yeah, I think I will. So there we go. So that is my second take on using the Fruitalicious washi tape along with some rectangle dies and dies that will also cut out the washi tape. So I still have these 3 pieces left. I have that, and I still have my piece of white. So I've still got a few bits that I can use to make another card. So I will have fun with that. So that's my card from today. Let's move this out the way. Try not to make a mess, but hey, it's just never quite happens. So that's today's, and that is the one from Wednesday. So I hope you enjoyed seeing this. It will get uploaded to YouTube so that it doesn't get deleted, because Facebook are now only allowing videos to stay up for a month. So this will get put on YouTube very soon. So you will at least always be able to find it there. I'll also put a list up of the stuff that I've used for this, just in case you're interested. And that is it. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you have a good weekend. Keep, well, I was going to say keep cool. Today was supposed to be a cool day, but it's certainly not here. But there you go. Shouldn't really complain. I know us Brits are very good at complaining about the weather. It's our favourite topic. But anyway, right. So I will see you at sea. What was this? On the 16th is the next Card and a Cuppa. Monday is Craft and Chat. So there is a new link up on the blog, creatingwithfiona.com. And if you go to Craft and Chat, there's a link there, and also a list of a supply list. So we will be crafting and chatting come Monday afternoon at 4:30. So if you want to join us, please feel free. Otherwise, have a great week, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.